Have you ever had that quiet moment where you wonder, is this all there is? Deep down, you feel there's more inside you, more to give, more to become, more to achieve. That feeling isn't a mistake. It's a signal. A message from the deepest part of you that knows your true potential hasn't even been scratched. The truth is, most people live far below their capacity, not because they lack talent, not because they're lazy, but because no one ever taught them how to unlock their potential. They inherited beliefs, habits, and fears that have kept them confined in a mental cage. The good news is that cage can be broken. And the key to breaking it? It's called deliberate growth. It's the decision to no longer live on autopilot and to take full control of your thoughts, your actions, and your results. Success isn't a mystery. It's a formula. And anyone, yes, anyone, who studies and applies this formula with consistency can change the entire direction of their life. Your background doesn't matter. Your mistakes don't define you. What matters is the choice you make next. The first principle of accelerated success is clarity. You must know exactly what you want. Vague goals produce vague results, but specific, measurable, time-bound goals activate the creative powers of your subconscious mind and align your behavior toward achievement. Write your goals down. Read them every day. Visualize them. Feel them. This isn't magic, it's neuroscience. When your brain sees a clear target, it begins filtering the world to find resources, people, and ideas that help you move toward that goal. The second principle is responsibility. No excuses. No blaming. No waiting for luck or outside help. The most powerful people in the world are those who take 100% responsibility for their lives. They say, if it's to be, it's up to me. This mindset transforms victims into leaders. It turns confusion into power. And once you take responsibility, you gain control because you realize you have the power to change your habits, your mindset, and your direction at any moment. The third principle is massive action. Thinking, planning, preparing, all of it is important. But nothing replaces the impact of doing. Every successful person you admire became great because they took more action than most people are willing to take. And when you take consistent, focused action, even if it's imperfect, you gain momentum. Momentum builds confidence. Confidence leads to bold decisions. And boldness leads to breakthroughs that average people never experience. But action is not just about doing more. It's about doing what matters. You need to identify the few tasks that create the biggest results. These are your high-leverage activities, the ones that move the needle. Learn to prioritize, delegate, and say no to distractions. The fourth principle is discipline. This is the bridge between goals and achievement. Discipline means doing what needs to be done, even when you don't feel like it. Especially when you don't feel like it. That's what separates the successful from the mediocre. And here's a secret. Discipline is like a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it gets. Start small. Keep promises to yourself. Build a track record of follow-through. Over time, your self-image will rise, and you'll start to see yourself as someone who always follows through. The fifth principle is belief. You will never outperform your self-image. If you believe you're average, you'll act average. But if you condition your mind to believe in greatness, if you surround yourself with powerful ideas and people, you will begin to rise. Belief is built through repetition and results. Speak empowering words to yourself daily. Study the stories of others who have succeeded. And most importantly, take actions that build proof. Confidence isn't given. It's earned through courageous effort. Of course, fear will show up. Fear of failure. Fear of rejection. Fear of not being enough. But fear is not your enemy. It's your compass. It tells you exactly where growth is waiting. Every time you face fear, you reclaim your power. On the other side of fear is everything you want. More confidence, more income, more impact. The life you dream of isn't found in comfort. It's built through courage. Every great story starts when someone decides to act despite the fear. So where do you start? With a decision. Decide today to no longer be a passenger in your life. Decide to take the wheel. Decide to study, to act, to grow, and to become the person you were meant to be. This isn't a one-time choice. It's a daily commitment. Success is not a single event. It's a lifestyle, a pattern, a habit. And every day that you choose growth over comfort, you're sculpting a future far greater than the past you're leaving behind. Remember, you are capable of more than you can imagine. The code to success isn't locked away. It's within you. And every time you take responsibility, move with purpose, and believe in your future, you unlock more of it. Break your limits. Your future is waiting. Think about this. A plane that shifts its course by just 1 degree will land in a completely different country hours later. The same applies to your life. A minor adjustment in your daily habits. the way you speak to yourself, or the standards you hold for your future can redirect your entire destiny. You may not notice the change tomorrow, but stay consistent, and in a few months or years, you'll look back and realize you've become someone entirely new, stronger, wiser, more fulfilled. Success isn't something that happens suddenly. It is something you build quietly, persistently, and intentionally every single day. The people you admire didn't just stumble into greatness. They made a decision, committed to a vision, and followed through with relentless discipline, even when no one was watching and nothing seemed to be working. The turning point in your life will come when you finally decide to stop blaming others, the system, or your past, and instead take 100% ownership of everything. Not just your wins, but your losses. Not just your strengths, but your mistakes. That kind of radical responsibility is the birthplace of personal power. You can read all the books, watch all the videos, and take every course. But unless you apply what you know, nothing changes. Knowledge is potential power, but it only becomes real power when it's turned into consistent action. Action is the bridge between your dreams and your reality. Fear is not your enemy. In fact, fear is often a signal that you're standing at the edge of your potential. Growth begins where comfort ends. Every time you choose courage over comfort, when you speak up, take a risk, or pursue something that scares you, you evolve into a stronger version of yourself. The most successful people aren't necessarily the smartest, the most talented, or the most connected. They are the ones who kept showing up even when it was hard. They kept believing, even when results were invisible. Persistence beats brilliance when brilliance gives up too early. Your thoughts are shaping your world, whether you're aware of it or not. Every belief you hold either limits you or empowers you. And here's the truth. Most of your limitations are learned, not real. Challenge your inner narrative. Replace "I can't" with "How can I?" and watch your world shift. Clarity is power. When you're clear about what you want, you activate your brain's natural GPS system. It begins filtering everything to help you reach that destination. But when you're vague, you wander. So ask yourself, what exactly do I want? Why do I want it? And who must I become to achieve it? Time is your most precious resource. Every day, you're trading it for something, either for progress or for procrastination. The way you spend your time is a reflection of what you truly value. So if your actions don't align with your ambitions, it's time to reset your priorities. You don't need motivation, you need momentum. Motivation is fleeting. It comes and goes. But momentum builds when you take consistent action, no matter how small. One workout, one phone call, one honest conversation. Stack those wins, and soon you'll feel unstoppable. The habits you practice in private will determine the results you enjoy in public. Discipline behind closed doors leads to freedom out in the open. The world may not see your efforts now, but trust that your consistency is compounding silently in your favor. You are not your past. You are not your mistakes. You are not your failures. You are only what you choose to become today. Each morning is a blank page. What matters now is what you decide to write on it with your thoughts, your actions, and your commitments. People often overestimate what they can do in a day, but underestimate what they can do in a year. If you gave one focused year to your biggest dream, showed up daily, and removed all excuses, you would be amazed by how far you could go. Give yourself that year. No one is coming to save you. That might sound harsh, but it's the most empowering truth you'll ever accept. Because once you stop waiting for permission or rescue, you start building your own rescue plan. You become the hero of your story, not the victim of it. Learn to fall in love with the process, not just the results. Anyone can be excited at the beginning or the end, but mastery is born in the middle, in the long stretches of discipline, repetition, and silence. If you can persist there, you're already ahead of 95% of people. Your environment is silently shaping you. The people you spend time with, the conversations you have, the media you consume, it all affects your mindset and momentum. Protect your space. Surround yourself with growth-minded individuals who challenge you to rise. Every adversity carries within it the seed of an equal or greater opportunity. It may not be obvious at first, but if you learn to ask, "What is this trying to teach me?" you'll find wisdom hidden in every setback. Your struggles are often your greatest preparation. Don't wait until you feel confident. Confidence is not a requirement, it's a result. It comes after action, not before. You build confidence the same way you build muscle. By showing up, pushing through resistance, and proving to yourself that you're capable. Discipline is choosing between what you want now and what you want most. It's sacrificing temporary pleasure for long-term fulfillment. Every time you keep a promise to yourself, no matter how small, you strengthen your identity as someone who follows through. You have greatness within you. not because of your circumstances, but in spite of them. The fire in your heart is more powerful than any obstacle in your way. The future doesn't belong to the doubters. It belongs to the brave. So step forward. The world is waiting.